Hey there, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger. Today we're going to be talking about the Digitech HammerOn. So the HammerOn is a pitch shifting pedal. It's kind of it's a cool thing. I think it's an interesting effect, albeit this version of the HammerOn was just released by Digitech. It says whammy on it. They charge you $279 for it. So I became hip to this back in 2011. Adrian, eventually Digitech had this thing called iStomp. It was a stereo in, stereo out, a really well-made piece of gear. You could plug it into an iPad or an iPhone, and then you could hop over to the Stomp Shop and install whatever effect you wanted. And they were all free with the exception of one pedal, and that was Adrian Belew's Impossible pedal. I purchased my iStomp. I have the iStomp, and I gave the guy, I got him on the phone. It was a Craigslist deal, and I said, listen, pal, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I want to pay you an extra $20, but you're going to have to install Adrian Belew's Impossible pedal before I buy this from you. Well, he was like, oh yeah, no problem. Then I'll get to try it out and see if I like that effect. So when I bought my iStomp for $50, I paid $70, and it came loaded with this model in it. Now, I modified my Impossible pedal. I ran wiring from this switch to a jack. And then there's an additional switch box which has a momentary contact switch and a knob. And you can, rather than when you see people operating this device, they will be rapidly pressing and releasing and pressing and releasing. On mine, you can hold down a momentary contact, non-latching. This foot switch is real easy to press down. It doesn't click, so it's a lot quieter than the clicky ones. You hold this down, and there's a knob on it, and it's got a active circuit that replicates someone stepping on and off of this. And so you can adjust it to whatever speed you want to set it at, and then just press down on it and let go of it. And it will do the same thing as somebody with lightning fast feet stepping on it as fast as they can. So that's the modification that I did. You can find out more about how Adrian used it. Here is Tom Cram, the Digitech guy, and then belew demoing it. Like this guy here. Oh, belew still uses a Digitech Harmony Man. Well, maybe that may be the case, but let's remember that this video was shot in 2011. How do I know that? Well, this is me.
I haven't read the manual on harmonics yet. Hope I answered that. I'm not sure.
Congratulations on your work with the Metropole Orchestra. I tuned into all that stuff via the broadband, and the DVD was exceptional.
Thank you.
Really enjoyable. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit what we could expect next from Studio Belew. And also, I'm curious about this, the red pedal that you're tapping on very furiously with your right foot. Looks like you're going to break it.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on with that, if it's broken.
I hate to tell you what that pedal does because it's my secret, but I'll tell you. First of all, what am I going to be doing next? Well, if you know anything, if you've been to my blog or anything, we've done a lot of touring, and we did a band camp with Tony Levin and Pat Mastelotto from King Crimson, and then we went on tour with their trio and my trio, and then we played both trios at the end would play a set of King Crimson material. We just got back from that. That was 6 weeks long, all around the United States and up into Canada. And it was very, very well received, and we really had a great time. Hopefully, we'll do some more of that at some point in the future, but it takes a lot of work to put a 6-week tour together up front before you ever get to go to the shows. What I said I would do is, as soon as this is my last personal appearance that's booked for this year, because just before we started the tour, my mind exploded and I started writing songs like they were going out of style. After I came back from the experience of doing the orchestral piece, which was so intense, and I practiced it for 3 months, I actually thought, no, what am I going to do? You know, I hadn't written a song for a long time by then. And I tuned my acoustic guitar a little differently. I tuned the E string down to a D, and I tuned the G string down to an E. And all of a sudden, I started finding all these new chord shapes and things that I couldn't have played in any other way. You know, it's a great way of breaking your habits. And suddenly, songs started pouring out. So just before we went on the tour, myself and my engineer, Daniel Rowland, who comes to my studio and works with me every day, we just plowed into a bunch of new songs. I've recorded 9 new songs already. I have at least that many more to record. 3 of them we were able to finish. Most of them are in various states of being finished. So when I go back home tomorrow, I'm jumping back into the next solo record, and I can't wait to do it. I'm really excited about it. And I actually wrote a song for Pixar. I mean, I don't think they're going to care, but, you know, I wrote it for them. And I sent it to them, and they said they really like it. So that's nice. But, you know, but I mean, I just thought with that new tuning, that's the first thing I did is wrote a Pixar song. It was fun. Now, you were asking about the red pedal? That's going to cost you some money, huh? Now, the red pedal is an easy thing to explain. This is called a Harmony Man. It's also by Digitech, the same people who can mimic Jimi Hendrix so well. And what it does, you can set 4 different intervals with this. I'll show you. This is one interval. That's an octave below. This is one. That's a 5th below. This is one. A 3rd above. And the 4th one I use is a 5th above. Now, the reason I selected those particular intervals is because they work with just about anything that you're playing. And what I do with the pedal is I slide in extra notes while I'm playing by just tapping on this pedal over here. See, I'm really not a very good guitar player. I'm not fast, that's for sure. But I figured out ways to seem fast with my foot. See, I don't just play with my hands like all the other guitar players. I use my feet. Here, let me find a sound that I can demonstrate that on. See that? I was playing one note. How about that, huh? Now you know my secret. I hope you still like me. I did get my money's worth because it was free. And I actually went to them and asked them if they could do this. They were designing. They had another pedal called the whammy pedal that you might know about. And that one, you could only do one note that way, and you had to tune it with the actual pedal. I said, no, that's ridiculous. You can't do that because it's so easy to hit the pedal accidentally, and then you're not in tune and so forth. So I asked them, is there any way we could do this idea? They didn't call it anything. I think they need to call it the Belew box, but we'll get to that at some point. But I really love that. It's a great way to do something when you're soloing that you wouldn't be able to do. It's physically impossible to play what I just played. I don't care if you're, Stevie Ray Vaughan, you're not going to get that what I just played there with 2 hands. Okay, so next.
So there you go, straight from the horse's mouth. And I think it's kind of a shame that we have this guy here and this guy, when Digitech could have been upfront about it, and we would have had this guy, because he's been using that technique for a while now, and he's good at it, you know. Anyway, you guys, I thought you would like to know the truth about the Digitech HammerOn pedal. Straight from the horse's mouth, you heard it first here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video. You heard it here. The HammerOn pedal is actually, and if you watch this, the second mode, this pedal has modes. The second mode is called the impossible mode. So they're not completely rewriting history. And I understand, financially speaking, the idea of getting Adrian behind this product would have costed them quite a bit more money. But in all honesty, they're charging $280 for it. They could have just charged $300 and let the truth speak for itself. But hey, that isn't the way that business always works. Like I said, this is a really cool idea. I was never able to, for me, a wah-wah pedal is real, it's a natural thing. I can be really an expressive wah-wah player. And I used to always have a wah-wah on. So it isn't the fact that I have a disconnect between my hands and my feet with guitar playing. It was just that I'm not a talented enough lead player to, I guess I'm just not there yet, you know. I play mostly one note rhythm. So it was the type of thing that I had it set up here. It's still set up on my indoor rig. I just don't use it. So again, this is something, I think it's a really cool idea, but it's because of my own shortcomings as a player, I was unable to adapt it into my arsenal of effects. Anyway, you guys, I thought that was interesting. I usually like to end these things and say something like, hug your pets is what I like to say. I think there was some type of an interview. Belew just did a live stream or something. I'm going to have to see. I think I missed that. I'm going to want to check that out. Anyway, in the meantime, you guys take care of yourselves, stay warm, comfortable, and healthy. More importantly, hug your pets is what I always love to say. And peace.